So here we go. First tip. I don't even have it with me. Great start. Hello and welcome. We are getting ready to go on a road trip. If you hear noises, which you do, Violet is playing and I just can't find any other time to do this. So I apologize. Let me see if I can close the door. See if that helps. Yeah, she's having a chatterbox kind of day and just won't shut up. Okay, this is my 10 tips. Let me see if I can do a thumbnail here. On how to survive a road trip with small kids. We live 8 hours away from where my husband and I are from and where our family live. So when we travel, it's a big long road trip when we're not flying. So this is how we survive the big long road trip. 8 to 10 hours in the car with little ones. Violet is 3, Henry is almost 7, which makes things a little bit easier, but this is kind of what we've been doing all along and it's what works. So I'm going to be looking at my notes because I can't remember. So here we go. So these are my 10 tips for surviving a long car ride road trip with kids. Tip number 1, children's grab all. My little boy used to get car sick. It's not so bad anymore, but now Violet has taken over and she gets car sick. She gets car sick just driving around town, so it's an issue. Even though Henry doesn't get car sick anymore, I still give him the children's grab all. This is grab all kids. It's quick dissolve, chewable. They sometimes fight taking it, but I find if you can crush it up into something, they don't even notice it. This is cherry flavor, but I don't know. Maybe it just doesn't. But it says prevents nausea, vomiting, and dizziness due to motion sickness. And it's for 2+. So Violet's 3, and since she turned 2, we have been very thankful for this. Yeah, so that's my tip number 1. Tip number 2 is to bring water bottles for just water that have the spout that open and close. I had bought these when I was in Florida because I forgot to bring water bottles with me, but they can open and close them themselves. It's just water, so you don't worry about them drinking too much sugar or anything, and it's just super convenient than having cups and all that kind of stuff going on. Juice boxes, you can squeeze them and it just goes everywhere. So water for the car is crucial. My other tip is to bring snacks. Snacks that won't spill all over the car. Granola bars, because they're one big piece and they chew on it, so it's not gonna be in bits. We used to do goldfish all the time, but then we'd end up with goldfish all over the car. They're a little bit older now, so it's not quite so bad, but I still try to avoid like little things that are for snacks. So stuff like, you know, bananas are good. Bananas are also really good for motion sickness for kids. So stuff that they can eat that is, they can, you know, bite off of instead of little bits of stuff. Because, you know, you go on Pinterest and they say, you know, use these snack trays with, you know, things that you would use for crafts, and you can put all kinds of different snacks. That thing tips over and you're screwed. Because, you know, you open it up and there's all these little holes and it's just, it's not going to end well. My next tip is blankets. Even though right now it's going to be super sunny as we drive, because today we're driving today, sometimes even though it's not hot out, we put the air conditioning on in the car because of the sun beaming in. Depending on what side of the car you're on, one person's going to get really hot and one person's going to be really cold. So rather than have the car hot with the risk of the motion sickness, we would put on the air conditioning and give the cold kid a blanket. These are really good. This happens to be one that just folds onto itself. It was a promotional one from my husband's old work before it closed. But it's just, you know, you roll it up and it's anything will do. This also works as a pillow, but any kind of travel blanket, I bring one for each kid, and sometimes one for me. A DVD player in the car is great. Sometimes the iPads and tablets don't have enough room with the games and stuff that they have to put movies on. So I really like a portable DVD player that can play movies. And if one just wants to watch, that's fine. And then, or both. Which brings me to my next tip, is having headphones for both, or for all the kids. Now, if you have 2 kids, this little device is awesome. I bought this at Dollarama. It is a headphone hub, and you can plug in up to 4 sets of headphones. So what it is like, do you remember the old Walkmans that were yellow, that had the snap closure, and they had the 2 headphone jacks in them? I loved that. So this does that. It makes multiple headphone jacks. So you can plug this into your DVD player and plug in multiple headphones so they can watch the movie with their headphones on. It doesn't bother you, and then you can listen to whatever it is you want, and they can't hear it. My husband and I like to listen to comedy audiobooks, which sometimes is not appropriate for children. This thing is going to solve that problem. Excuse me. This also will work with iPads, so if they both want to watch the same iPad, that works too. My number 6 tip, which I just had to count to find out what number I'm on, is to bring a change of clothes for your kids, sometimes for yourself. Even if you are doing the entire trip in one day and you're not staying overnight anywhere, bring a change of clothes, because you never know, again, with the motion sickness, spills, just anything that might happen. It's good to have a change of clothes for kids. Nobody wants to be sitting in a car for a long time in wet, messy yuck. So yeah, bring a change of clothes, maybe for yourself as well if you're a spiller like me. My husband's a bit of a spiller when he drives too, so maybe I should put a t-shirt in for him. But okay. The other thing I recommend for kids is easy on and off shoes. Shoes they can put on and off themselves, or are easy for you to put on and off them, because when they're sitting in the car, they want to kick their shoes off. Nobody wants to have their shoes on for 8 hours sitting in a car. So easy shoes that can go on and off, plus for getting in and out of the car, you want to be able to get them on in a hurry and off when they get back in the car if they want to take them off. Making sure your devices are charged up, because there's usually only 1, maybe 2 charge cords in your car if you have a double one. So yeah, make sure everything's charged up. And there's a few apps that I would recommend for kids that don't need Wi-Fi, that don't need internet, that my kids love. There is one called, it's called Sago Mini. I've been calling it Sago Mini, but it's S-A-G-O, so it could be Sago Mini, I don't know. They love this one. I even like this one. I actually bought it, the Sago Mini World, so you have all the games, and they just love it. That one is our personal favorite. It's for ages 4 and under, but Henry is 6 and he still likes to play them. I like to play them. They're very cute. They're fun. Another one is called Free Flow, where you kind of connect the dots in kind of pipes. I don't know if it's supposed to be pipes, but you connect the dots through this. You can see it, and it's pretty fun. I also have it on my phone, so I can play it. The other one is pixel art. So it's basically coloring in by touching squares. And this one is easy. Violet likes it. She kind of gets frustrated because she hits the wrong squares, but it doesn't matter. It still works. It's not going to stop her from playing it. Henry loves this one, and you can get the 3D ones too, which he really likes. Okay, where am I? Also, I don't even know what number I'm on. I went and I printed off some car games, which helps get your kids from looking down or looking at a screen. I printed off these from Pinterest, and it's like this one says can you find, and it's a list of things that you look out the window and try and find. It's kind of like a scavenger hunt. Find a truck, find a barn, find a barn, billboard, bridge, campground, cat, cow. So there's Henry is reading pretty good now, so he would be really like into that. I also got this one that is good for Vi because she doesn't read. She can spot the colors of cars, so you take off which ones you see. And so there's a whole bunch of them that you can find on Pinterest. This one is fun because it has the pictures and it's like bingo, like you cross off all the things you find, and then whoever gets a straight line wins. Anyway, just check out on Pinterest and put in free printable car games for kids, and you get a ton of stuff. And the last thing I recommend for traveling with kids is some sort of medical kit, like emergency kit, to have with you, with Band-Aids. And this one I've downsized. I used to have one of the long makeup bags that you roll that have all the see-through plastic sections, and I had kind of a bottle explode on our last flight and ruined it. So I took what was left and I downsized it into this. This is the same case that I'm using as my everything bag right now. If you haven't seen that, I will link that right here. But I had an extra one because I bought two because I love them. And this is basically, I've got Tylenol, children's Tylenol. I've got Restorelax because sometimes, you know, that happens when you're traveling. Bug bite cream, all the, oh, that fell out. These are Mucinex powder that you have for coughs. But when you're traveling on a car trip, you don't know what you're going to need. And we are actually going halfway today and halfway tomorrow. So we're staying overnight in a hotel. And it's just good to have stuff when you're in a hotel so you don't have to go searching if you need a Band-Aid or, you know, a Tylenol. So I got children's Tylenol and all that kind of stuff in here. This is a much smaller version, but it works. Yeah, so that is my 10 tips for traveling in a car with kids for a long time. Thanks for watching. So if you're going anywhere on this spring break, Easter break, whatever it is that you call it in this springtime of the year with your little ones, just hopefully this helps. And yeah, hope you're having a great day. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. I got some really fun stuff coming up this week. We're going into St. John's for the Drama Festival, so woohoo! And yeah, thanks for watching.